Here's our lineup today here on The Now. Paying for college is a concern for so many people. Why today could be a great day to start saving. Whether yard work is piling up around your house or you're just looking to make a little extra money, we're going to check out an app that helps with both. Also, you're going to want to meet this person.
And so I think that, the mindset of you can only get involved, you only have a voice when you turn 18, when you can actually vote is a lie. It's a myth. It's not true.
A 17-year-old running for office. Hear his message about making a difference.
When you are in an emergency situation, seconds matter. A company right here in central Indiana says they believe a new safety app created to cut down on those precious seconds will help save lives. RTV6's Nicole Griffin is finding out how it works and why it could help you or your family when you need it the most.
He started flashing his headlights at me, and so I'm young. I'm a teenager, 17.
Jamie Dugan is recalling a traumatic experience that still impacts her life today. It all started when she says a man began to follow her.
This man comes up to my car, and he says, "Hey, your wheel has some major problems, and I'm worried you're going to get stranded."
She told him she was almost to her destination and continued driving. But once again, a few minutes later, he stopped her.
I rolled my window down just enough for him to be able to grab onto my head and my hair. The next thing you know, there's a gun on me right in my face.
She says what followed was the worst part. He took her in his vehicle and raped her. It's an experience she thinks about often, which is why she's now advocating for the safety app Covert Alert.
If I say protect me now, it's saying protection mode is ready, and I have mine set to vibrate.
From there, the app is on standby, waiting to hear Jamie's preset keywords.
Mine is leave me alone. It's vibrated, so I know this recording has started. So my emergency alert has been triggered and recording is in progress.
The app sends an alert to your 5 emergency contacts with an audio recording of the situation as well as your location.
One of the biggest situations that we're seeing right now is when people are late at night walking out of a office building. We're noticing that they're downloading Covert Alert because they want to stay connected and protected, and they want their friends and family to know they're safe.
The next step, getting law enforcement on board, which would then allow the alerts to go to officers in the area as well.
I would have known instantly that they're in trouble and actually heard it and know what I'm going into before I get there. The whole goal is to save lives.
Jamie says it's an extra layer of protection, one that gives her a sense of security.
It's a key to fighting back, to being a victor and not a victim.
Nicole Griffin, RTV6.
Thanks, Nicole. And this app is available for both Android and iPhones, and it is free. The developers who are based here in Indiana say it's a project they've been working on for years now. And they are to the point now where they believe the app is flawless. It's already been downloaded more than 244,000 times.
And this evening, we've got some Southside soakers. You're looking at a time lapse there, 465 near State Road 37, again on the city's south side. And you can see the dark skies there, and then we start to see some of that rain and a little breezy at times. So that rain moving in, slowing down a little bit of that rush hour traffic for us this evening. And in fact, some of these downpours, one of the strongest is just south of Terre Haute. And we now have a flash flood warning here for southern portions of Vigo and also Sullivan counties just north of Sullivan here along Highway 150. And that's because we've seen around 2 inches of rainfall already out of this storm, because what we're noticing, these are very slow movers, and you want to make sure you avoid any of that standing water. You don't want to be driving through that. Could also have some small hail in this one as well as it moves toward Clay City at 556. Now you can see around the airport and just to the south and east, we continue with some of these heavy downpours, some flashes of lightning here. So on the south side of the city along 65 there, certainly some heavy rainfall rates approaching about a ½ inch per hour in some locations. We'll continue with some strong to severe storm potential right on through tonight, that slight risk. We'll take a closer look hour by hour in a few minutes. Chris.
Parts of the Midwest are still under the threat of severe weather and possible tornadoes today. You're taking a look at video right here of one of the most recent areas hit. This is northeast Kansas. Meteorologists saying a strong tornado touching down there overnight. Now, tornadoes have just been relentless over the last 12 days. More than 350 reported in areas covering almost half of the United States. Meteorologists at the Storm Prediction Center say this is a unique pattern, different from what we saw more than a decade ago.
In 2003, we would go in spurts over that couple weeks where you'd have 2 or 3 days that were really active, and then you'd have a down day, and then you would start to pattern all over again. In this scenario, we haven't really seen the down days, so that's kind of the unique aspect of what we're seeing right now.
Now, most of these tornadoes have been on the weaker side, but several areas were hit by an EF3. Less than 5% of tornadoes make it to that strength. These tornadoes are the result of 4 weather ingredients working together. Now, the same ingredients keep snow out west, bringing hail into the northeast and extreme heat into the southeast. Now, the good news is the threat will start to subside tomorrow and into the weekend. Now, next week, a new cluster of storms could bring heavy rain and strong winds. Now, there has been one question that's been asked. Is climate change behind this weather pattern? Well, NOAA meteorologists say there's just not enough long-term data to say, and they say in the grand scheme of things, tornadoes are pretty rare. Now, people affected by flooding in Arkansas will get federal help. Some places along the Arkansas River seeing water levels above 40 feet. Experts say the river could crest at an all-time high. Today's special counsel Robert Mueller talked publicly for the first time about the Russia investigation, and he made it clear that he could not indict a sitting president and that it's Congress's job to hold the president accountable for any wrongdoing.
If we had had confidence that the president clearly did not commit a crime, we would have said so. We did not, however, make a determination as to whether the president did commit a crime.
Mueller said today that his report is his testimony in response to pressure to testify before Congress. The report found no criminal conspiracy between the Trump campaign and Russia. Now, the president did tweet in response, take a look, quote, "Nothing changes from the Mueller report. There was insufficient evidence, and therefore, in our country, a person is innocent. The case is closed." All right, let's get back to our lineup. We're going to show you the incentive happening today to get people to start saving for a child or grandchild's education. Today is a day where you might want to start thinking about saving for your child or grandchild's college education. Annie Taylor's here to explain why.
Chris, it's 529 Day, a day that's come about to raise awareness of 529 college saving plans. Now, a new Bankrate survey found about 10% of people say that their financial regret is that they haven't saved enough for their child's college education. So this can be one place to start. Here are some advantages to 529 plans. The money goes in after taxes, and when you use them on a qualified education expense, they're tax-free. Also, when applying for financial aid, money in these accounts doesn't count against your child as much as a regular bank account. And you don't have to invest in one in the state where you live or in the state where your child will be going to school. Now, Mark Kanowitz with savingforcollege.com says try to find one with low fees or check to see if your state allows an income tax credit on money invested in a 529. Now, different plans are doing deals and giveaways for 529 Day. Kanowitz says that the important thing to know is just to start saving now.
There's a lot of research that shows that even small amounts of money in a 529 plan account will increase the likelihood that that child will enroll in college and graduate from college. And even just $50 in a 529 plan account makes a difference because it sets up an expectation that the child's going to college.
And he says don't be overwhelmed with the cost either. A good rule of thumb is to try to save a third of the cost of tuition. Now, savingforcollege.com has several tools to help you find the best 529 plan for your situation.
Annie, thank you. Let's get back to our lineup here. And family can play a huge role for spellers who are trying to deal with all the nerves at the Scripps National Spelling Bee.
I think he would be proud. He was always there to support us for every spelling bee.
Now, that 12-year-old is talking about her grandfather, one of her biggest fans, and how she's continuing to make him proud after getting some unexpected news.
77 and only at Bob's Discount Furniture.
With several states tightening abortion laws, a Newsy survey found that the issue is not so black and white. The survey asking people where they stand on abortion generally. About 31% said pro-life, no exceptions. 34% saying they were pro-choice, no exceptions. Meanwhile, 11% said abortion should be allowed in the first 6 to 8 weeks. 10% saying up to 18 to 23 weeks, and 14% saying until 24 to 28 weeks, which is the standard set by Roe v. Wade. Now, Sarah Weddington, who is counsel for Jane Roe in that case, is watching as these lawsuits over these new state bills make their way through the courts. Now, she says if they make it that far, she wants the Supreme Court justices to respect privacy and precedent.
There is a right of privacy. It may not be spelled out word by word, but the concept that people in the U.S. have a right to make their own decisions is very much there.
She says now is the time for women who thought that Roe v. Wade was a done deal to realize that it is not. All right, let's start the Now News feed. New concerns over energy drinks. A study in the Journal of the American Heart Association found caffeinated energy drinks altered the heart's electrical activity and raised blood pressure. Now, doctors do say the impact typically is mild, but it could be worse for people with heart conditions or those who take certain medications. Your Amazon Alexa is listening to you, but soon you can delete what it records. You'll be able to say either Alexa, delete everything I said today, or Alexa, delete what I just said. A Bloomberg report found that Amazon employees will actually listen to recordings of you talking to your Alexa to help with Alexa's speech recognition. Another foldable phone could be hitting the market. Apple securing a patent for a foldable screen that could be used on iPhones. The patent says, really all we know is that it'll be an electronic device with a display and cover that are flexible and bendable. Well, spellers do juggle a lot at the Scripps National Spelling Bee. You think from the nerves to studying to just trying to make new friends. Corey Rangel found one speller who decided to keep going despite devastating news.
12-year-old Chloe Nah made it to her first Scripps National Spelling Bee.
I don't know what words are going to be there, so we're just trying to become well-rounded and look through the dictionary.
One word she's familiar with, perseverance.
We study every day for, I would try, several hours.
But after she got here, she received some news that's hard to put into words. Her grandfather, one of her biggest fans, died from a heart condition.
I think he would be proud. He was always there to support us for every spelling bee.
Chloe's mother, Denise, says the family decided to stay and compete because they know that's what the grandfather would have wanted.
He was very excited. He would text me, call me when we were taking our spelling bee, so I'm so happy that he got to know the good news.
While Chloe did not end up making it to the finals, she's proud of what she accomplished and happy the pressure is off until next year.
I'm going to practice again in a few months. I'm not going to start right now. And I'm going to try to do the nationals next year.
An outlook she hopes will make her grandfather proud. I'm Corey Rangel reporting.
All right, Corey, thank you. And Monday here on The Now, we introduced you to Faizan Zaki, the youngest speller in this year's Scripps National Spelling Bee. This was his first year competing, and we did find out today that he made it to the third round before missing a word. And at just 7 years old, he told us that he's excited to compete again and plans to make it to the Scripps National Spelling Bee every year.
Thank you, Chris, and good luck to all those kiddos. For the second year in a row, IPS is holding Special Olympics Games. Today's athletic events featured students from kindergarten through 8th grade at Arsenal Tech High School. They put their track and field skills to the test, competing in walking and running races and long jump. IPS says the 4-day event is an opportunity to give the students the chance to succeed, build relationships with their peers, and be proud of themselves.
And we think, unified sports is a great way to lift up individuals with disabilities and put them on a level playing field with their peers. So it's great fun.
The public is welcome to cheer on the athletes from 10:20 in the morning through 1 in the afternoon, Thursday and Friday at Arsenal Tech High School. More than 300 students will participate in these Special Olympics Games.
And we've got some rush hour rain impacting things and slowing it down a little bit this afternoon. This is the view on I-65 there along County Line Road as you're making your way out of Marion County into Johnson County, and you can see traffic slowed a little bit by some of those downpours. And there you can see on Storm Team 6 radar, these are continuing to drift off toward the east and southeast, going to stay mainly south of Greenfield at this point. A little bit of lightning for you in northern Shelby County. Nothing severe with that storm. Really, it's going to be about the rain, and you can see that that's kind of lined up here as we get into southwestern parts of the area. That flash flood warning again, extreme southern Vigo and then northern Sullivan counties, where we'll continue to add to about 2 inches of rain that's already fallen. So we'll have a few showers and storms this evening, and then you notice as we get to around 10 to 11 o'clock tonight, another round of thunderstorms expected to move through central Indiana and into the Indianapolis area around midnight or so. Some of these could again be strong to severe with some gusty winds and some hail. We'll see exactly how the storms we have now will impact that activity later on this evening. And then tomorrow morning, some more scatters around the area. There's a view out from the Motor Speedway. Our temperature, well, it's reading 82 in Greenwood, but we just saw that downpour, so things are cooling down for you. It's 75 now in Indianapolis, 77 in Muncie. Tomorrow, we're going to have more periods of rain and a few thunderstorms. Temperatures will be a little bit cooler here. Today, we rallied and made it into the lower 80s with some of that late day sunshine, but you can see again those thunderstorms that move through tonight, and then we'll see a few more of those into the morning and possibly into tomorrow evening. A couple of isolated showers and storms once again. Then we get a break in the pattern over the next few days. That will come on Friday. Looks dry for us, 78 degrees, upper 70s, a 40% chance of storms on Saturday before we dry it out on Sunday. Chris?
Some cities are staggering opening community pools this summer because there's a lifeguard shortage. Austin, Texas, for example, about 350 lifeguards short. New incentives are being offered to recruit people like paid sick leave. Now, the ongoing lifeguard shortage, that is at pools and beaches. And no matter your age, if you can pass a swim test and get CPR certified, you can get hired for one of those positions. The American Lifeguard Association spokesperson says lifeguards are not just for when people get into trouble.
We really have a special talent, and that's one of the things about being a very good lifeguard is it's not how many rescues you go on, it's really about how many people you protect before they could get into danger.
Now, employment experts say that more young people are taking advantage of internships, summer school, and specialized new youth-driven job programs. That means usual retailers that beef up summer hiring are turning to older adults to fill jobs. Ever since the Parkland shooting, it seems like more young people are getting into politics. And today, Chris Welch introduces us to a 17-year-old running for office in Texas.
Teenager Marcel McClinton always gets the same question.
Why does this 17 or 18-year-old, student or former student deserve to rep me in city council? Like, why?
Right? What's your answer?
And what do you have to offer? That answer is because I've got the right ideas and that change is necessary to bring our city and push it further and to success.
Yes, he is 17 years old, just days out of high school, and he's running for a position on Houston's city council.
So I turned 18 July 5th, and the filing deadline for city council was August 30th. So I just barely make it.
In McClinton's eyes, age really is just a number.
So I think that, the mindset of you can only get involved, you only have a voice when you turn 18, when you can actually vote is a lie. It's a myth. It's not true. I always tell young folks who ask me this question that you can help campaigns and push your political ideas through a movement, right?
For him, that movement was gun violence. McClinton was a survivor of a shooting at his church back in 2016.
And that was a moment in my life where a lot of us in that room in church had to grow up a lot faster.
He helped organize Houston's March for Our Lives rally and volunteered for Beto O'Rourke's bid for Senate. It's all led him to this.
I also sat back and thought, to what extent can I further my work in gun violence prevention, and would that be most beneficial at just the school level and just looking at how to keep students safe in their schools, or is that in a greater capacity on city council where we can look at inner city gun violence awareness campaigns and suicides and mental health and all these different aspects.
He's got big backers too. Beto's former campaign manager is serving as an advisor to McClinton's campaign, and he says it's proof that young people really can bring change.
If you could give one piece of advice to any young person that might be watching and thinking about politics, what would it be?
That your truth and your heart matters, and that's important to you, and also like to stay confident through all the doubts you're going to hear.
Reporting in Houston, I'm Chris Welch.
All right, Chris, thank you. And next in our lineup, we're helping you save the hassle that can come with hiring landscapers to help with all the yard work around your house, the apps that can connect you, and how they could also help you if you're looking to make a little extra cash.